Today, Nick, I want to just touch on RPR. And, okay, well, yeah. Anyways, some of the features that I like about RPR and some of the features that a lot of agents may not be aware of. I do want to start with saying, hey, RPR is not the end all be all.
Sure.
If you have a client, if you're going on a listing appointment, this is my opinion. If you go on a listing appointment and you're putting together a valuation of that home, and if the only thing that you look at is RPR and you print a report from RPR and you sit it or you put it in front of that seller, you're probably doing them a disservice. RPR for me establishes this is the baseline. It's where I begin the process, and then I'll go through the whole other process of comping a home. But so these are some of my favorite features. When you go up to the bar, up at the upper bar at the top, you just press the button, click on the button that says reports, and there's a drop down. And there's three types of reports that I like because I use these for marketing purposes. A lot of people want to know about specific neighborhoods. They might be coming from out of town and they're interested in Palm Valley, or they're interested in this specific zip code. And so you can do, without looking at a specific property and pulling comps on a specific property, you can build reports based on a zip code or based on a neighborhood. So the first one I like to do is there's an option for neighborhood reports, and that includes housing stats for that specific neighborhood. It includes demographics, which is a huge one because it's interesting. There are things that I cannot answer.
Correct.
That I will violate fair housing rules if I answer specific information. However, that's information that they might be looking for is included in RPR, and that is my workaround.
And honestly, in my opinion, that's where RPR really does shine. That's why I like that you start with RPR. RPR is a NAR member benefit, so it knows all the guardrails that agents need to stay within when they're having these conversations with clients. So when a client asks for a specific thing and you as an agent aren't allowed to opine on that thing, RPR provides them a full report that they can then do a deep dive in. They can pull this data in different places online, but RPR gives your client a one-stop ability to look at all the things that they are interested in. So instead of you saying, this is a great neighborhood, well, here is a report on the neighborhood you're interested in. Do that research and let me know if there's anything that you have any questions on. Like that, it just provides that ability for you to do that without having to get in the weeds.
Yeah, and this one option in there that's included, the quality of life report, which is it's pretty cool. It's just interesting. But I also like the info on nearby neighborhoods, because if I got a client going, hey, I like this neighborhood, they want to know what's the rest of it, what surrounds them. And so, again, this can just be based on a per neighborhood, or more importantly, I just do it by zip code.
Well, and that's, when you have someone coming in from out of state, I think that's important to just mention, hey, this also includes this, because Phoenix is an interesting city and you've got really affluent cities on top of others, and so it's just nice for them to be able to see all the surrounding areas because we are on top of each other.
All right, the second one, and probably the one that I would market the most, are school reports. People with kids want to know about the schools. When I have a client moving to a different part of the valley or coming from out of state, I work with a lot of out of state buyers. And when they have kids, they want to know about the schools. My kids are long gone from elementary school.
You're really old.
Thank you, and middle school. Oh, by the way, how is your preschool teacher doing, buddy? Okay, anyways, and so they want to know about the schools. And so in RPR, you can look up a specific, man, I love these typos, but you can check out schools, what their school grades are, what their ratings are, their proficiency stats, the average ACT, and it's supposed to be
SAT.
SAT.
I would assume your SAT scores were not.
They were not very good, bro. They were not. What the average teacher's salaries are, and then you can look up reviews. I mean, my wife, she is addicted to reviews, especially when it involves our kid. If we're going to send our kid somewhere or sign up our kid for something, what the other parents have to say mean the most to Mindy. And you literally inside RPR, you can create the school report and send it to them. If you're marketing to out-of-state buyers, this is something you could market on Facebook and saying, "Hey, you're interested in a specific school or a specific neighborhood in Phoenix, hit me up, and I'm going to send you a detailed report."
Yeah, and so I think I don't know if we said this or not. If we didn't, I'm going to say it again. This is a free service that all NAR members have access to. So it's something that you can do right now without having to go out of pocket at all. The school report, again, I'm going to be a little bit of a broken record. Fair housing issues, you giving your feedback, opinion, or suggestion on, if asked, is this a good school district? You don't want to walk down that road. You're going to provide them the school report, and you're going to allow them to make that decision on their own.
Yeah. All right. And then the third one is market activity. It's similar to a neighborhood report, but this is more kind of an overall approach to a specific neighborhood. You're able to provide your clients market trends for specific zip code or specific neighborhood. What are the median property values? What are the market snapshot reports? And then more importantly, it includes a ton of comps. It'll show you what's active, what's pending, what is closed, and so you can gather. And like I said, you still don't use RPR to establish, and say, hey, this is how much a house is worth. But when you're working with a buyer, this just saves an entire step. You're not only can send them all this information, but you can send them all the comps. As opposed to just having to now go back into the MLS and sending them the comps as well. You can give them all times. And I was playing around with this last week, and I just did my zip code, and I was just looking at all the activity, and it was it was really insightful.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say the market activity for RPR is it's there, but to your point, you start with RPR. I read a book, and I can't remember the name of it, but it talked about this individual. He'd gotten out of the military and then was hired at Google, and then was hired at Meta, and hired at back to Google. And he was a high-level executive. And the question was, how does a military service member get a high-level job at Google back in like the main heyday? And so the conversation that he had was that he was the most prepared interviewee that they had come through the doors. He had homework done. He had questions. He had information. He had done research more than any other person had. If you're going on a listing, if you're having a conversation with a potential buyer, you should be the most prepared agent that they have a conversation with. And so RPR allows you to kind of set that baseline, and then you can dig into other systems that you're already comfortable with, but RPR is a fantastic place to start just to make sure your information is accurate.
Yeah, and I think it also separates you because I assume a lot of agents either one didn't know about these features, or two, if they knew about the features, haven't played around with them and haven't been leveraging them. Yeah. You now have the ability to send detailed information to somebody that most agents aren't aware that they can send. And then also when you're having conversations with people, if I'm meeting someone, at a party or something, and they're talking about schools, I'm like, hey, I can send you a detailed report on the schools in that specific area, and now I'm collecting names, phone numbers, and emails.
100%. Yep. And were you putting those names, phone numbers, and emails, Mikey?
I'm putting them into my my CRM. All righty. Well,